welcome to Nice Enough. I am Steve.
And I'm Bert.
And we have an awesome show for you today. I was actually thinking about what we're going to talk about for about the past few days, and I don't know why, but I had this flashback over the last couple days of, do you remember the song, It's Velveeta versus Cheddar?
Yes.
Our Velveeta melts much better when the cookbook calls for cheddar. Make it with Velveeta, it's much better. And I just had a blast looking at some of the really old commercials. Another one that popped up is the What's Up?
Oh,
Do you remember that?
I hated those.
Why?
They were annoying.
They came out during the Super Bowl and they even had the frogs going like the What's Up? I thought it was so much fun.
What's up?
Yeah, the commercials today aren't as good. They're just
No, they're really not.
They're not.
You remember the McDonald's one with the three old ladies in the guitars and the gold lame dresses?
I
And
don't.
they had a jingle. I can't remember the song, but I used to sing it all the flipping time, and I don't know what it is.
Do you remember Big Mac, BLT, quarter pounder with some cheese, fish fillet, hamburger, tasty nugget, golden fries, fish fillet, a large in size? Do you remember that one?
Yes, dang, that was good.
Thank you. What's that from, like the 80s?
I think so.
Early 90s?
Maybe.
That is a long one. And then it also brought me thinking to today when you watch TV, it's commercial after commercial with side effect after side effect after
Yes.
side effect.
Yes.
Back in our day, they didn't give us warning labels.
No.
Do you remember eating Olestra potato chips?
Okay, I was afraid to eat Olestra.
Oh, I would chow down a whole bag of those things. They
Oh,
were
that was-
0 calorie, 0 fat, and they were divine.
And that was taking your life in your own hands right there.
Well, they should have been sold with Get Back into Life with Depends because
Yes.
they may have caused a little bit of anal leakage. I did not have that problem, so I was sad when they were removed from the market.
You know, gummy bears now, with those whatever ones, do that too.
Oh
I wonder if they're
my
just made with pure Olestra.
We have to find those and product test them for the show.
Let's have somebody else product test them and not tell them.
Oh, that's a good idea. My husband...
Any takers?
Oh, would anyone like to come on and try some Olestra potato chips? You're welcome to come on at any point in
We'll
time.
provide the depends.
I'll have to order a case for our sample day. Oh gosh. Anyway, how was your week? What did you do?
Work. It's been a lot of just work. I have not done anything fun. Please tell me you've done something fun.
I did. We went and saw Beetlejuice.
I'm so jealous.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh God, don't. This fireplace is going to transform into the gates of hell.
He's not here.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah, we went and saw Beetlejuice at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Minneapolis. It was surprisingly very, very, very good. We'd actually almost seen it in New York City. We got there really late one afternoon and we saw that they had a few tickets available. By the time we got up there, they had a standing room only queue and we just weren't in the mood to stand after traveling all day, so we skipped it. But I'm really glad we saw it here.
Good.
The young lady who plays Lydia, she just graduated high school in June.
Shut up.
And she's already booked to a national touring production
wow.
of a Broadway musical. She does not have her Master in Fine Arts from any music academy, which is kind of like a minimum just to get into any Broadway show or to even get an audition. She nailed it.
You go, girl.
She gave Beetlejuice a run for his money, and he was amazing as well. Wow. But that show has got to be so hard on people's voices.
Yes.
Because Beetlejuice, he talks like this the entire show, and he sings like this through every song. Oh. And that's everything you're taught not to do in musical theater school.
Ooh, yeah.
Always sing from your diaphragm, never from your throat. You know what we didn't see there, though? Debauchery. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene getting felt up. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene giving someone a hand job in the seat next to her. There were children, but they were safe because Lauren Boebert wasn't there.
There you go.
Yeah. That whole story is just, we'll link it somewhere here for those of you who haven't watched the videos. I was asking Rich about it this morning, Rich, my husband, and he was like, I've never heard of this story. I'm like, how can you not? It was everywhere in the news.
I don't follow politics, and even I heard of that story.
Yeah, so the party of... They got kicked out.
They did.
And then she's like, but I'm just human.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if you're going to be, the party of groomers, pedophiles, and book bans, you can't just claim, I'm just human, when you are the problem child.
Yes.
I mean, let's just go down memory lane really quick. I almost knocked my water off the counter. So just in the last couple years, I made some notes here for today's show. Trump was a confirmed sexual assaulter in the E. Jean Carroll case. Wasn't found guilty of rape, but he was found guilty of sexual assault.
Does that mean he has to register as a sex offender?
No, because it was a civil trial, not a penal trial. No, what is that called? No, it was
penal.
It was a penal trial, all right. But no, he won't face jail time, but he did have to pay E. Jean Carroll quite a bit of money for defaming her. And as part of that trial, they had found out that he sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll back in like the 70s or 80s already. And then we have our next door neighbor friend in South Dakota, Kristi Noem. She was having an affair while married with former Trump campaign advisor Corey Lewandowski. For years they were having an affair. But again, this is the party of morality, and we want to make sure that we're calling out everything everyone else does wrong in their life instead of looking at what's happening in our own lives.
Yeah.
Then we have, do you remember Larry Craig? Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport?
Yes.
He was the he was doing the under the stall
Foot tapping?
foot tapping. Yeah, he did like the little two-step to try to hook up with some gay sex in a part of the airport that was closed at the time, but I guess it had become known as a popular cruising. First of all, how do you find out what the best place to cruise an airport is? I'm sure there's an app for that. But
there probably is.
yeah, so he got busted. He pled guilty because he wanted to try to sweep it under the rug. And then he came out and he's like, oh, that wasn't me. I am a moral, upstanding citizen. No, dude, you pled guilty. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, our BFF forever from Georgia. Yeah, she's from Georgia. She was in the process of a divorce, and she met up with this tantric sex guru. And I'm not kink shaming, I'm not sex shaming, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy here.
Yep.
That you can't come at us and tell us to live a moral and upstanding life and call gay people pedophiles and groomers while you're having an affair on your husband with a tantric sex guru.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ms. Green, but that's a no-go for me. And then, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, she entered dick pics into a congressional hearing of Hunter Biden. Yeah. She took his dick pics that he had texted to someone, and she introduced them as evidence in a congressional hearing. It gets better from there, though, because then Senator Kennedy, he decided that he wanted to read porn on the Senate floor. No joke. He was trying to show that a book that was being proposed to be banned had sexual content, which it did, but it's not intended for children. But he decided he was going to read porn on the Senate floor. It keeps going.
Oh my God.
I'm not done yet. Then we have Matt Gaetz. Oh man, he's such a D-bag. He was ratted out by one of his former associates for having sex with underage girls. Not underage women. There's no such thing as an underage woman. It's called a girl.
Yeah.
But they ended up dropping the charges because they didn't have enough information on him. But he had been ratted out by a number of people. And then last but not least, we have our local hero, Anton Lazario, who was sentenced to 21 years in prison for sex trafficking underage girls, buying them toys, presents, and giving them cash for sex. He got busted, and he's now spending a good chunk of his life behind bars, which is where he belongs.
Yes.
So you're probably wondering, why are you talking about this, Steve? And it goes to one of our topics, enough already. Mm-hmm. I am so sick and tired of the hypocrisy coming out of the GeoPervert Association.
That's a good hashtag.
We should keep that one, the hashtag GeoPerverts, because they have been coming at the queer community, the trans community, the drag community for the better part of 2 years now, referring to us as groomers and pedophiles. But yet, I just gave you a list of how many? 7, 8, 10 different things?
Well, and it's like they say, when you point a finger, there's more fingers pointing back at you.
And that's what they're notorious for. They really, really are. If you look at what they're saying about others, I can guarantee you it's happening within their own party.
Because they're trying to deflect.
They are. They really are. And another one I want to bring up really quick, it's that whole deflection piece. Donald Trump, during the last presidential campaign, he tried to convince everyone that there was a sex trafficking operation underneath a pizza shop in Washington, D.C. that didn't have an underneath to it. There was no basement. And then he claimed Hillary Clinton was running it out of this location. So, I mean...
People need to be careful what they say. It can be dangerous. You can harm people.
I mean, in that case alone, someone showed up there with a gun and tried to shoot up the place because they truly believed there were children being held hostage in a non-existent basement by Hillary Clinton that were being trafficked into a sex ring.
Sad.
Mislabeling, and it's not even mislabeling. Mislabeling is like an accident, you know?
Right.
And where you intentionally mislabel someone as a pedophile or a groomer, it has consequences.
Yes.
And people are getting hurt. Someone is going to die because of this.
Oh, I'm sure people already have, too.
And we probably don't even know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, locally, it was over the summer. We were on vacation, and there is a little boutique down in Chaska, Minnesota, and they were going to have a drag queen story hour for children.
I love those.
Aren't they cute?
They are.
They really are. And a lady showed up, and it ended up becoming a viral TikTok because she went in and she was like, I am a lawyer, and I am going to sue you for being a pedophile and a pervert. She wasn't a lawyer. She didn't end up suing. They went ahead with the drag queen story hour, and I was so proud of our local Minnesotans here who showed up in mass to support the drag queen story hour. They drowned out the protesters that were outside.
Go girls.
But the protesters showed up with guns. And I'm sorry, but when emotions are heightened and there are children present and there are labels like that being thrown around, and you show up with a gun to a children's event, you, my dear, are the problem.
Yeah. Yep.
I told you, we were taking the gloves off today and we were going to come out swinging. And that we did.
We did.
Because I'm done with it. As someone who has a rainbow flag on the outside of the house, has a rainbow sticker on the back of the car, there have been times where we wondered, are we safe doing this anymore?
Yeah.
Because our community is under so much attack.
I feel like we were like on this nice rise of equality, and then it just dove.
Yeah, and it's getting worse. And so what we need is all of our viewers to speak up and speak out, and don't be afraid to have these conversations. I know they can feel squishy and awkward, but go ahead and forward this little clip to your friends. Forward it to your neighbor who might have
family
these
members.
viewpoints. Yeah, your own family members. Oh, here's a good question for you. Have you had to cut out any family members because of politics?
Not yet. Well, no, that is actually not true. I unfriended a family member because they commented something. I shared something that I was very proud of. It was something I had created. And they said, nope. That's all they said. But I knew what their intention was because they were very, you know. And so I was like, bye, Felicia.
Good for you.
Yep.
I have cut out a few family members and a few friends because I've seen their political posts. And it is my perception that you cannot say you support me and my husband and you support our show and then turn around and vote for people who are intentionally trying to harm us.
Yes.
That's where I draw the line.
It's hypocrisy.
It is total hypocrisy.
Yep.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
I just came out swinging today. I always want to say what time of day it is, like this morning, this afternoon, this evening, but I don't know what time everyone's watching, so we'll just say today. There is an important conversation in addition to mislabeling people, and I think that is the importance of having labels.
Yes.
We hear a lot from people now, like, oh, I don't believe in labels. We don't use labels.
Yeah.
Labels are bad.
Or why do we even need labels?
Yeah, why
can't people just be?
Yeah. I keep saying yeah. We have to edit those out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just change the way we say yeah all the time. Yeah.
Girl.
Yes. Yeah. Yo.
Girl, yeah, okay. Slay, girl.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm practicing my, what would it be, gay
Gay
language?
speak?
Gay speak? I don't know. I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't watch a lot of...
Escándalo. I apparently do. You can tell.
Well, I feel like everybody does except for me, and I'm
Even the
starting-
straights.
Yes, they're watching and they're like, "Girl, do you slay?" And I'm like, "What do I? What slay? Are we? Is this Buffy? Like when did we go
See,
from?
you went the Buffy route, and I'm
Oh.
thinking sleigh as in like sleigh ride.
Oh, see, that should more be along my alley because you know I love me some Christmas. I love Christmas. Why are labels important?
Yes, why
to
are they?
You. Let's start with you, and then I'll share my list as well.
Do you see the shock look on my face? Me? Why are you starting with me?
Why not? I like the element of surprise.
Yeah, you do. I think labels are important because not only does it help other people understand where you're coming from, sometimes it can help you understand where you're coming from. Everybody I think is trying to find their place in the world and who they are, what they're doing, why are they here. And I think a label sometimes can just help them to better understand their place and why they are who they are or what they are. And so I think a label can just help them to better understand it. Sometimes it doesn't have to be because it's for other people to help. It's just for that person to know, this is what I am.
I actually like that a lot. I really do. I made a list of a few reasons why I thought they were important because I always come prepared with a few note cards. Bert, show your note cards.
I just have 3.
Here's mine.
And actually the third one is just to make it look like I have more note cards because it's just possible topics. So really I only have 2, 1 for each.
I have 5 for today's episode.
Yeah.
We should just start having a segment called Steven's Checklist. Can he check off everything he wanted to talk about in the next
Ba-ding.
30 minutes? Everything you said, and I think labels amongst people, they can be divisive, but they can do the opposite as well, in that they can create a sense of belonging.
Yeah, you get to identify with others that are like you.
Yeah, and just using a really generic example, our cable provider, they have an LGBTQ category for movies, TV shows, and sometimes I just get straighted out. I just made that term up, but I get straighted out in terms of romantic comedies, comedies, love stories, action movies.
I mean, come on, Hallmark, get with the picture.
They're slowly coming along, but they'll release like one
One.
queer movie per holiday season. And in contrast,
Please, do they not realize that's their biggest demographic right there?
Right, that's exactly where I was going about knowing your labels. If you don't label your content as being queer positive or LGBTQ friendly, you're missing out on a huge demographic here. And
With a disposable income.
Yeah.
No children.
dual income, no kids. Ding! I would have used our little sound effect thing, but it didn't work. Dual income, no kids. That was my do-over.
Yeah.
How did I do?
You did really good.
Thank you, thank you. The other thing too is there's protection in numbers.
Yes.
When you are around like-labeled or like-minded individuals, there is a safety component that comes with it. And the example I'll use is if my husband and I are walking through Target and we're holding hands, it still is sometimes uncomfortable, especially when you see people in certain attire, like Trump shirts, walking toward you. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know if they're going to verbally harass you. You don't know if they're going to physically harass you. Whereas in comparison, when you go to Pride and it is other LGBTQ individuals, you feel free, you
Yes.
feel safe to express yourself. You can walk hand in hand. You can give a peck on the lips or a peck on the cheeks without anybody looking twice because you're, for once in your life and for a very short time, one single day, you are in the majority.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important for people to feel like they're in the majority. The other is, we talked about this just a moment ago, the Hallmark movies, the importance of representation.
Yes.
And if we didn't have labels, we wouldn't know who and what we're representing.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more content out there for the LGBTQIA community. I love seeing them in starring roles and not just as a backup, silly,
Right.
funny character that everybody laughs at. Oh, silly gay, funny gays, funny gays.
Right.
Believe it or not all gays are funny. I know a few of them who aren't funny at all. So don't label us always as funny, funny gays.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel
No.
right. And then, last but not least, I spoke of this one a little bit, but it alleviates a lot of anxiety, knowing where you belong and to
Yeah.
whom you belong with. Because when you embrace a label, positive or negative, in this case we're focusing on the positive, you are living a truth versus living a lie.
Yeah.
And have you ever tried to tell a lie and then sleep at night?
Yes.
It's really, really uncomfortable. You don't get
Not really.
the best night's sleep. And if you're constantly living a lie or you don't know
Yeah.
where you fit in or where you belong, there's this sense of wanting, of needing something above and beyond you. And if you're not comfortable living in that space, it's hard to physically sleep at night.
Yeah.
And our hope here is you know where we stand politically, spiritually, on LGBTQIA rights. We want this to be a safe place for like-minded people.
Inclusive. Yep.
We know that we lost about 50% of our viewers today.
Bye, Felicia.
But as Bert just said, bye. We don't mind. We know this isn't a place for everybody.
Yep.
If this isn't for you, go set yourself free. Find the label that fits you. Embrace that
Find
label.
your community, your people.
And move on with your life. Or if it's more fun for you, tell us how much you hated the content today. Share it and tell everyone how horrible of a show it is. Make sure you hashtag like MAGA 2020 or 2024.
Go perverts.
Yeah, geo perverts. That would be a good one to use. But go ahead, get on out of here. We really don't mind.
Nope.
Wow.
It was good.
We really came out. In case you were wondering what we really thought, welcome to the real show. That was a lot of fun.
Episode 3. It's a whole new show, people.
It is. And get ready for episode 4, because this is how many note cards I have for episode 4. It's going to be his show. All about him. Until episode 4, we bid you adieu. Remember to go out there and try to be kind to everyone. And if you can't, remember you only have to be
Nice enough.
Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.